Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Balsa Williams and with me is Abhishek Mukhopadhyay with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi confers awards for excellence in public administration 2021 on Civil Services Day, says civil servants should work towards bringing change in the life of the common man. Home Minister Amit Shah says terrorism is the biggest form of human rights violation and asks National Investigation Agency to work with full determination to eliminate terrorism. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson arrives in Ahmedabad on a two-day visit to India. Prime Minister to take part in celebrations of 400th Prakash Parv of Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji at Red Fort in New Delhi this evening. Union Minister Anurag Thakur says this is the best time to invest in India as the country is on the path of growth and government is carrying out deep economic reforms. Uttar Pradesh bans new mics in religious places and display of weapons in religious processions. National Apprenticeship Mela 2022 organized at more than 700 locations across the country today. In the Santosh Trophy final group encounter, Gujarat to meet Manipur at Kottapadi Stadium at 4 p.m, Karnataka to take on defending champion Services at the Payanad Stadium at 8 p.m. And in IPL cricket, Mumbai Indians to take on Chennai Super Kings at Navi Mumbai this evening. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today said there cannot be any compromise on the integrity and unity of the country. He was addressing after conferring Prime Minister's awards for excellence in public administration on Civil Services Day. Mr. Modi said the nation was built by all those who followed the path of innovation with the mantra of nation first. He said every civil servant needs to lead India to newer heights.
देश में सामान्य से सामान्य मानवीय के जीवन में बदलाव आए, उसके जीवन में सुगमता आए और उसे इसका एहसास भी हो। आज ग्लोबलाइजेशन हम पिछले कई दशकों से सुन रहे हैं। आज भारत का पोजीशनिंग बदल रहा है और ऐसे में हम देश में जो भी करें उसको वैश्विक संदर्भ में करना अब हमारे लिए समय की मांग है। सिविल सर्विस का सबसे बड़ा काम देश की एकता, देश की अखंडता, उसमें हम कोई कॉम्प्रोमाइज नहीं कर सकते।
He said India at 100 should be a watershed moment and the next 25 years should be seen as a single-time unit. The Prime Minister said during the last 8 years, many behavioral changes have been seen among the people due to government campaigns.
भारत कहां पहुंचेगा और राज्य कहां पहुंचेगा, हमने 75 साल इन सारे लक्ष्यों को लेकर के चले हैं। इंडिया एट 100 डिस्ट्रिक्ट हम 25 साल में कहां ले जाएंगे। हिंदुस्तान में मेरा डिस्ट्रिक्ट नंबर 1 बना करके रहूंगा। कोई भी क्षेत्र ऐसा नहीं होगा कि मेरा डिस्ट्रिक्ट पीछे हो। कितनी ही प्राकृतिक मुश्किलों वाला जिला होगा तो भी मैं करके रहूंगा। ये इंस्पिरेशन, ये सपना, ये संकल्प और उसके लिए सिद्धि प्राप्त करने के लिए निरंतर पुरुषार्थ और परिश्रम, इसकी संभावनाओं को लेकर हम चले तो ये सिविल सर्विस डे हमारे लिए एक नई प्रेरणा का कारण बन जाएगा।
Mr. Modi highlighted that India has created 14 unicorn startups in just 3 months of 2022. He called this a major achievement for the nation. A total of 16 awards for 5 identified priority programs and for innovations in the sphere of public administration and delivery of services were given this year. The awards have been instituted with a view to recognize the extraordinary and innovative work done by districts, implementing units, and central and state organizations for the welfare of common citizens. On the occasion, the Prime Minister also released e-books on priority programs and on innovations comprising success stories of the implementation of identified priority programs and innovations. President Ram Nath Kovind today extended his best wishes to all civil servants on Civil Services Day. In a tweet, Mr. Kovind said they have contributed to India's emergence as a leading nation. He urged them to continue serving India with utmost dedication and with a spirit of public service as exhorted by Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson arrived in Ahmedabad, Gujarat this morning as part of his two-day visit to India. He visited Sabarmati Ashram and paid rich tributes to Father of the Nation Mahatma Gandhi. During his Ahmedabad visit, he is likely to announce investments in science, health and technology collaborations. He also tried his hand on the charkha or spinning wheel. According to ashram sources, he was presented with a copy of a book titled The Spirit's Pilgrimage, written by Mirabain, a British disciple of Mahatma Gandhi and a supporter of India's freedom movement. He also presented another book, Guide to London, which was written by Mahatma Gandhi but never published. Later in the day, he will go to Gujarat Biotechnology University and Akshardham Temple in Gandhinagar. He will also visit a plant of JCB Company at Halol near Vadodara. He will leave for Delhi by this evening.
Home Minister Amit Shah has described terrorism as the biggest form of human rights violation and its elimination is necessary to protect human rights. Addressing the 13th National Investigation Agency NIA Day program in New Delhi today, Mr. Shah asked NIA to work with full determination to curb terrorism. He said the Narendra Modi government has adopted zero-tolerance policy towards terrorism and is working to root out the menace from India. About Jammu and Kashmir, the minister said action against terror funding greatly helped in curbing terrorism there.
आतंकवाद से लड़ना एक बात है, आतंकियों से लड़ना एक बात है, मगर आतंकवाद को जड़ समेत उखाड़ कर फेंक देना दूसरी बात है। और वो अगर उखाड़ कर फेंकना है तो टेरर फंडिंग की उनकी सारी व्यवस्थाओं को ध्वस्त करना। 18 और 19 में एनआईए ने टेरर फंडिंग के जो मामले रजिस्टर किए, उन्होंने आतंकवाद को जड़ से उखाड़ने में बहुत बड़ा सहायता किया है।
He added that the centre has strengthened the laws and institutions working to curb terrorism in the country. Mr. Shah asserted that the government is ready to provide all kinds of support to strengthen NIA and for its international recognition. He also asked NIA to be in live contact with state government agencies which are working to check the menace of terrorism.
दृढ़ निश्चय के साथ आतंकवाद को समाप्त करने की दिशा में एनआईए ने आगे बढ़ना चाहिए। हमारी सरकार का प्रयास रहा है कि आतंकवाद संबंधी सभी सूचनाओं को देश भर की पुलिस और सभी एजेंसियों के साथ साझा करने में एक समन्वय स्थापित किया जाए। आतंकवाद विरोधी कानूनों को मजबूत और पुख्ता बनाया जाए। आतंकवाद विरोधी इंस्टीट्यूशंस को ताकत दी जाए, उसको मजबूत की जाए और आतंकवादी मामलों में 100% दोष सिद्धि का प्रमाण हम लक्ष्य लेकर चले।
Mr. Shah stressed the need for change in police investigation systems, saying it should now be based on technology and data.
इन्वेस्टिगेशन थर्ड डिग्री पर निर्भर नहीं होना चाहिए। इन्वेस्टिगेशन तकनीक की डिग्री पर निर्भर होना चाहिए। इन्वेस्टिगेशन डेटा की डिग्री पर निर्भर होना चाहिए और इन्वेस्टिगेशन इंफॉर्मेशन की डिग्री पर निर्भर होना चाहिए। मगर ये परिवर्तन लाना है तो डेटाबेस बनाने पड़े और डिजिटल फोरेंसिक के साथ भी दक्षता हासिल करनी पड़ेगी। मादक पदार्थ, हवाला ट्रांजैक्शन, हथियारों की तस्करी, जाली मुद्राएं, बम धमाके, टेरर फंडिंग और टेररिज्म, इतने 7 क्षेत्रों में एक राष्ट्रीय डेटाबेस बनाने का काम दिया गया है।
The Home Minister said the government wants to amend the Indian Penal Code, Code of Criminal Procedure and the Indian Evidence Act as they are very archaic and need to be changed to keep up with today's time. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has exhorted US companies to take advantage of the policy initiatives taken by the NDA government in India and carry out joint research and development, manufacturing and maintenance of defence equipment to achieve the vision of Make in India for the world. He was addressing the members of the American Chamber of Commerce in India virtually during his 30th annual general meeting today. He invited the US companies for co-production, co-development, investment promotion and development of maintenance, repair and overhaul facilities in India. The Defence Minister said the participation of US entities in joint R&D and industrial collaboration with Indian public and private sectors will be important for the success of Atmanirbhar Bharat and further strengthening the US-India relationship.
India and the US share a common vision of a free, open, inclusive and rules-based Indo-Pacific and Indian Ocean region. India-US comprehensive global strategic partnership is of critical importance for international peace, stability and prosperity. Our global strategic partnership is based on multifaceted cooperation.
Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has said G20 is well placed to catalyze international policy coordination to deal with macroeconomic consequences and call for proactive and collective efforts towards protecting economies. She spoke at the G20 Finance Ministers and Central Bank Governors meeting under G20 Indonesia presidency in Washington. The global economic outlook and risk, international financial architecture and global health were on the agenda of the meeting. The minister noted that global growth momentum is dampened by prolonged inflation, supply chain disruption, volatility in energy markets and investor uncertainty. In Washington, she also met U.S. Secretary of Commerce Ms. Gina Raimondo and discussed ways to strengthen economic cooperation in the bilateral and global context. The Supreme Court today ordered that status quo be maintained on Jahangirpuri demolitions. A bench comprising Justices L.N. Rao and B.R. Gavai said the court will take a serious view of all demolitions that took place after the Supreme Court's decision was communicated to the authorities. Issuing notice to the authorities, the bench said it will take up the case after 2 weeks. Several structures in Jahangirpuri were brought down yesterday morning as part of an anti-encroachment drive by the North Delhi Municipal Corporation. The Uttar Pradesh government has said that no new mics will be allowed in religious places in Uttar Pradesh. The government has also banned showcasing of arms during religious processions in the state. A report.
After a review meeting, Chief Minister of State Yogi Adityanath said that those mics being used after taking permission can be allowed to function, but their noise should not go out of the premises of the religious place and must not disturb others. Chief Minister has given strict orders that no religious procession will be allowed in the state without proper prior permission. Organizers of such religious processions have to give an affidavit of maintaining harmony in the society. He said that the responsibility will be fixed at every level if communal harmony gets disturbed due to any religious procession. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
National Apprenticeship Mela 2022 has been organized across the country in more than over 700 locations today. Skill Development and Entrepreneurship Minister Dharmendra Pradhan launched the Apprenticeship Mela at an event in New Delhi today. He said the initiative will empower the youth of the nation. He stated that people will be job creators through this apprenticeship program. Mr. Pradhan said apprenticeship boosts the confidence level of a person. Skill India, in association with the Director General of Training, is organizing the day-long apprenticeship mela across the country. Under the initiative, the aim is to support hiring of more than 1 lakh apprentices and assist employers in tapping the right talent and develop it further with training and providing practical skill sets. India's COVID vaccination coverage has exceeded 187 crore 7 lakh doses today. Over 2 crore 53 lakh first dose vaccines have been administered for age group 12 to 14 years. Active caseload currently stands at 13,433. A total of 2,380 new cases were reported in the last 24 hours. The recovery rate currently stands at 98.76%.
In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, 2 Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorists were killed and 3 army soldiers were injured in an encounter in North Kashmir's Baramulla district this morning. The encounter took place in Malwa area of Baramulla district in North Kashmir in the wee hours today. Incriminating materials, including arms and ammunition, have been recovered from the possession of the slain terrorists.
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi confers Awards for Excellence in Public Administration 2021 on Civil Services Day, says civil servants should work towards bringing change in the life of the common man. Home Minister Amit Shah says terrorism is the biggest form of human rights violation and asked National Investigation Agency to work with full determination to eliminate terrorism. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson arrives in Ahmedabad on a 2-day visit to India. Prime Minister to take part in celebrations of the 400 Prakash Parv of Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji at Red Fort in New Delhi this evening. Union Minister Anurag Thakur says this is the best time to invest in India as the country is on the path of growth and government is carrying out deep economic reforms. Uttar Pradesh bans new mics in religious places and display of weapons in religious processions. National Apprenticeship Mela 2022 organized at more than 700 locations across the country today. In the Santosh Trophy final group encounter, Gujarat to meet Manipur at Kotapalli Stadium at 4 p.m. Karnataka to take on defending champion Services at the Payanad Stadium at 8 p.m. And in IPL cricket, Mumbai Indians to take on Chennai Super Kings at Navi Mumbai this evening. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at @AIR News Alerts.
कंपटीशन की अगर आप कर रहे हैं तैयारी तो उनके लिए ऑल इंडिया रेडियो पर हम लाए हैं अभ्यास, एक ऐसा कार्यक्रम जिसमें आप पूछेंगे सवाल व्हाट्सएप नंबर 9289094044 पर या फिर ईमेल करेंगे abhyas.airnews@gmail.com पर और हमारे विशेषज्ञ देंगे इसका जवाब। आपका अभ्यास हमारा प्रयास।
Welcome back to the Midday News. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will participate in the celebrations of the 400th Prakash Parv of Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji at Red Fort in New Delhi this evening. Mr. Modi will address the gathering and also release a commemorative coin and postage stamp on the occasion. The program is being organized by the Government of India in collaboration with the Delhi Sikh Gurudwara Management Committee. More from our correspondent.
During the event, Ragis and children from different parts of the country will participate in Shabad Kirtan. A grand light and sound show depicting the life of Guru Tegh Bahadur is also being held. Apart from this, the traditional martial art of Sikhs, Gatka, is being organized. The program is focused on highlighting the teachings of 9th Sikh Guru, Guru Tegh Bahadur, who sacrificed his life to protect religion and human values, ideals and principles in world history. He was executed for supporting the religious freedom of Kashmiri Pandits on the orders of Mughal ruler Aurangzeb. His death anniversary is commemorated as Shahidi Divas every year on 24th November. His legacy serves as a great unifying force for the nation. With Anand Kumar, Suparna Saikya, AIR News, Delhi.
The two-day grand event to mark the 400th Prakash Parv of Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji started in the Red Fort premises yesterday. Tegh Bahadur Simriye, Tegh Bahadur Simriye, Tegh Bahadur Simriye, Tegh Bahadur Simriye. Karnon diyave tae, sab thai. Minister of Information and Broadcasting Anurag Thakur today said this is the best time to invest in India as the country is on the path of growth and the central government is committed to carry out deep economic reforms. He was speaking after inaugurating the Times of India's India Economic Conclave 2022 in Mumbai. He highlighted what the government has done for every section of the society in the past 8 years under Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Tax cuts for corporate, welfare schemes for the poor and repealing of archaic laws for ease of business and ease of living were some of the key decisions he mentioned were taken. To encourage manufacturing in India, the minister said the government has introduced PLI production-linked incentive scheme in 14 sectors. The minister later visited the National Museum of Indian Cinema NMIC at Pedder Road and said that those visiting the city should visit it. Talking to reporters, he said NMIC is a heritage of the country. People from Mumbai and those who are fond of Indian movies should especially pay a visit to the NMIC upon their visit to Mumbai.
गुलशन महल, नेशनल म्यूजियम ऑफ इंडियन सिनेमा, भारतीय सिनेमा का जो संग्रहालय है, मुझे लगता है अपने आप में भारत की वो विरासत है जिसको देखने का अवसर हर उस व्यक्ति को मिलना चाहिए जो मुंबई में आए, मुंबई के रहने वालों को भी, मुंबई में आने वालों को.
The minister planted a sapling at the premises of the NMIC and also held a review meeting with the officials of Films Division, NMIC, Central Board of Film Certification and NFDC. Mr. Thakur will also discuss about the preparation of the ensuing Mumbai International Film Festival.
And now let's listen to a special program, Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव. Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation.
India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the
In today's episode, we remember freedom fighter Taravati, who was born on the 21st of April 1908 in Bhatinda, Punjab. She actively participated in the Swadeshi movement, non-cooperation movement and Salt Satyagraha.
Taravati's father, Murari Lal, was deeply influenced by Arya Samaj. He ensured the education of Taravati and sent her to Lahore for school education. Even after her marriage, she remained committed to the cause of independence and joined the Indian National Congress along with her husband.
She actively promoted the use of khadi. In 1930, she took part in a satyagraha in Muzaffarnagar against the sale of liquor. Taravati's 3-month-old daughter was incarcerated along with her for 3 months. With Vande Mataram and Jai Hind on her lips, Taravati spent 3 months in prison wearing khadi and following the path of Mahatma Gandhi.
She was also imprisoned during the Quit India movement and sent to jail in Varanasi. Talking exclusively to All India Radio, Taravati's son, Dr. Praveen Kumar Gupta, recalled her nationalistic zeal.
A firm follower of Arya Samaj, Ammaji devoted her life to social service. She started a free vocational training school for poor girls and an old age home for senior citizens. She strongly believed in Vinoba Bhave's Bhudan movement and worked for it.
Taravati died in 2007 at her residence in Muzaffarnagar, Uttar Pradesh. AIR salutes the great daughter of India.
We also remember Assamese freedom fighter Mangovind Chakravarti, who was born on the 21st of April 1893 in a remote village of Satrasal in Dhubri district of Assam. Chakravarti left his law studies and joined the non-cooperation movement on the clarion call of Mahatma Gandhi in 1921. Mangovind joined the freedom movement as a student activist. After completing his graduation in Calcutta in 1919, he returned to Assam and worked in his village for the upliftment of the poor and women on the issues of education and health. After joining the non-cooperation movement in 1921, Mangovind organized burning of foreign clothes in the streets of Calcutta and started wearing khadi, which he continued to do throughout his life. He was jailed many times for his active participation in the freedom movement. After independence, Mangovind worked for the upliftment of the backward areas. By his relentless efforts, he established 9 schools, 4 government dispensaries and 2 post offices in Dhubri district. Mangovind died on the 28th of April 1973 in Dhubri. The then President of India, Fakhruddin Ali Ahmed, was among the first ones who sent a telegram of condolence to the bereaved Chakravarti family. We salute the great freedom fighter. We remember freedom fighter Ganpatrai Pandey, who took part in the First War of Indian Independence in 1857. Born on the 17th of January 1809 in Ranchi, Jharkhand, Ganpatrai was the Diwan of the Maharaja of Chota Nagpur and took an active part in the 1857 uprising.
He was captured by the British forces in March 1858. His property was confiscated and he was executed by hanging on the 21st of April 1858 in Ranchi. We salute the great martyr.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you the next episode tomorrow.
In Odisha, people of Dashapala in Nayagarh district are fondly celebrating the famous Lankapodi festival. The chief attraction of the 12-day-long festival is the slaying of demon king Ravan, which is enacted by setting a huge effigy of Ravan on fire known as Ravan Puri, and witnessed by thousands of onlookers from near and far.
Under the Quad's flagship vaccine partnership, a consignment of COVID vaccines was handed over jointly by Indian and Australian and Japanese ambassadors and chargé d'affaires of the US and Thailand. The consignment, comprising 2 doses of made in India Covovax vaccines, was presented by Deputy Prime Minister Anutin Charnvirakul in Bangkok today. External Affairs Ministry said in a release that this is the second consignment of vaccines delivered by India under the Quad vaccine partnership after the inaugural delivery to Cambodia on 12th April. Thailand government has conveyed its appreciation for the vaccines received from the Quad and for its collective assistance to Thailand. The vaccines have been supplied to fulfill Prime Minister Narendra Modi's commitment made at the Quad Leaders Summit in Washington, D.C. in September last year. Mumbai witnessed light showers this morning and experiencing cloudy weather since yesterday. For the next 24 hours, IMD has forecast light to moderate spells of rain at isolated places over Mumbai city and suburbs. It said possibility of thunder and lightning is also very likely at isolated places. The observatory has predicted cloudy sky for the next 2 days. Meanwhile, the head of climate research and services of IMD Pune, K.S. Hosalikar, in a tweet asked people to take precautions while moving out as thunderstorms with lightning and light and to moderate spells of rain with gusty winds reaching 30 to 40 km per hour is very likely to occur at isolated places in districts of Palghar, Nashik, Dhule, Nandurbar in the next 3 to 4 hours.
The Khelo India University Games, set to be inaugurated by Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu in Bengaluru on April the 24th, will see the participation of Olympians. According to the Sports Authority of India, Tokyo Olympians Srihari Nataraj representing swimming, Manu Bhakar in shooting and Duti Chand in athletics will be competing in the Games. During the second edition of the Games, 2 new disciplines, namely Yogasan and Malkham, are added for the first time. More from our Bengaluru correspondent.
Khelo India University Games in Bengaluru will be a green game. Everything used in the field of play will be made of reusable material. Electric vehicles will be used for transportation. Waste will be segregated as wet and dry at the source in every venue. The logo of the games features the iconic Vidhan Sauda building with 2 elephants on either side. Vidhan Sauda is State Secretariat building in Bengaluru. The mascot of the games is Veera, the mighty, strong, wise elephant, accompanied by Jaya, a black buck, and Vijay, a tiger. The Khelo India jersey depicts an athlete in action. The sporting event will be broadcast live on multiple channels of Doordarshan. PIB Digital Channel and All India Radio will also broadcast the games. Sudhindra, AIR News, Bengaluru.
In the Santosh Trophy final group encounter, Gujarat will meet Manipur at the Kotapadi Stadium at 4 p.m. today, while Karnataka will take on defending champion Services at the Payanad Stadium at 8 p.m. In IPL cricket, Mumbai Indians will take on Chennai Super Kings at D.Y. Patil Stadium in Navi Mumbai at 7:30 p.m. today. Last night, Delhi Capitals beat Punjab Kings by 9 wickets at the Brabant Stadium in Mumbai.
Now let us take a quick look at the weather update for the day. National capital Delhi will have generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. Minimum temperature was recorded at 28 degrees. Maximum expected to be around 38 degrees Celsius. Mumbai is expected to have generally cloudy sky. Chennai is likely to have a partly cloudy sky. Kolkata is likely to have rain or thunder showers with strong gusty winds. And now before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi confers awards for excellence in public administration 2021 on Civil Services Day. Says civil servants should work towards bringing change in the life of the common man. Home Minister Amit Shah says terrorism is the biggest form of human rights violation and asks the National Investigation Agency to work with full determination to eliminate terrorism. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson arrives in Ahmedabad on a 2-day visit to India. Prime Minister to take part in celebrations of 400th Prakash Parv of Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji at Red Fort in New Delhi this evening. Union Minister Anurag Thakur says this is the best time to invest in India as the country is on the path of growth and government is carrying out deep economic reforms. Uttar Pradesh bans new mics in religious places and display of weapons in religious processions. National Apprenticeship Mela 2022 organized at more than 700 locations across the country today. And with that we end the midday news.